doing a law of science. You do not have to write all this stuff down. I'm going to tell you what you need to write down. The first thing you need to write down is this. We have a kind of cool way of naming triangles, and especially in more advanced algebra. We don't like always using the sides like AC and BQ and 2 letters because we're lazy and we want it to be a little bit faster. So the first thing I would like you to do is write down any old triangle you want, but make certain it doesn't look like a right triangle, right? So make some weird ass triangle that's got like a big fat angle, something like that, right? Like go weird, something like that, right? Start there. Next thing I want you to do is we're going to give him a name, and we're going to use the letters A, B, and C, and we use capital letters at his vertices, at his corners. So could you give him a name A, B, C? I don't care where you put the A and the B and the C. That's up to you. You do you. I support you, right? So wherever you want to put A, put A. Wherever you want to put B, put B. Wherever you want to put C, put C. I don't care. You do you. Now in geometry, what we used to do is we would call this side AC, and this side BC, and this side AB, which is perfectly fine, but now we're lazy, and we don't want to do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to give it a nice, easy name. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to say the side across from big B, we're going to call him little b. And the side across from big A, little a. And the side across from big C is lowercase c. Right? So from here on out, in algebra, in more advanced algebra, when you guys go to college level algebra, even in calculus, when we name a triangle, corners, big letters, sides, little letters. So here's what I know. We are going to be able to figure out the different sides with this very cool little weird formula. And it is kind of weird, but it's kind of easy. And here's what it looks like. What it says is this. If you take sine of big A and you put it over baby A, it's going to absolutely be the exact same, the same ratio of sine of big B over little b. And if you're thinking, well, Miss T, what if I don't have the B side? What if I have the C side? And my answer is, it works for him too, right? Do you need all of them? You don't. You can use a combination, right? But here's what we're going to need. We're going to need partners. We're going to need, like, to do this, maybe big B and little b, and big A, and we're going to look for little a, right? We're going to need some partners, and you're going to see how this works, right? That's our little formula. We're going to try some. If you have 3 pieces, I'm telling you, you can find the rest. So we need 3 out of the 4. We need 3 out of the 4 to make this work. So here we go. First problem. If you would like, on this first one, we're going to label this guy. After I show you how to do this, most of you are going to be like, Misty, I'm not labeling. And I'll be like, I don't either, right? But on this first one, I'm going to label it. You can put your ABC wherever you want, but if you want to match it with mine so we do it together, I don't know, I'm going to put A here, B here, C here, little a, little b, little c. Everybody good, right? Okay, so the first thing that's the most important is this. I'm going to be looking for x. I need to find x. That's my job. That's what it's telling me to do. It's saying, hey, find x. So I am going to have to use x, his partner. And his partner is this guy, right? So I need to use these guys. Is everybody cool, right? I got to use those guys because I'm looking for x. So the first thing we're going to write is sine, not of A. What is A? 71. over x equals. Now, and are you back from like somewhere? Yeah. Okay, because they were looking for you. Okay, I'm not sending you back, huh? You what? Did you actually have a dental appointment? Okay. Yeah. Okay. So here we go. Now we need to find another partnership. We need other partners. Well, guess what? I'm not going to use the B's. Look, I don't have any numbers there. B would be a bad choice because it's like I don't have enough pieces. But look what I do have. I have enough pieces on the C's. I got this dude and his partner, this dude, right? So put him over here. Are you ready? Sine 35 over 12. How do we look? So guess what? Did you know these are all numbers? They're actual numbers that your calculator knows. So all we have to do is do a little moving stuff around, and then our calculator is going to do all the work. Talk to me, Lynn.
Why are you using sine?
Oh, because it's. Right. So everything tonight, sine, and in 3 days from now, everything will be cosine.
How do you use sine?
Because that's the formula we have. So when I show you law of cosines, you'll decide: do I want to use all sines? Do I want to use all cosines? You'll get to make that decision, right? The law of sines will turn out to be the easier method, but it doesn't always work. So you might look at some and you're like, oh shoot, I gotta use stupid law of cosines. Like, how do you decide whether you factor or you use quadratic formula? It's like, damn, I can't use the easy way, right? Good question. Okay, here we go. We're gonna do some math. So the first thing I want to tell you is this. We are in a minute going to do everything on your calculator. So get her out. Make sure she's out and ready to go. She's all warmed up. First thing is this. We need to solve for x, and we do not like x in the denominator. So we're going to do that flip-flop thing. Remember, Mrs. Tarantino says when you have proportions, you can diagonally flip-flop. So can you please flip-flop this guy with this guy? Just flip-flop them for me. Just please flip-flop them. Put the x up here and the sine 35 down here. Is everyone feeling okay on that? Have I lost anybody? Absolutely. Yes, if you learned a butterfly cross multiplying, that totally works too. I'm just lazy, and this works a little easier for me. I got one other thing to do. I'm solving for x. I'm getting x alone. What's the opposite of divide by 12? Someone say it. Yeah, leaving me hanging there. Kind of like multiply by 12. Guess what? My calculator does all of this. But I need you to do it with me very carefully, because your calculator will mock you if you don't tell it to do exactly what you want it to do. I need you to watch for the parentheses. Are you ready? Let's do it. Clear your calculator out. Hit 1, 2, 12. Just go straight to sine. You don't have to go times sine. The calculator knows it is a coefficient. Just hit sine. Hit 71 and stop. Do you see where you're hanging with a parenthesis open? If you don't close that, your calculator is going to think you just want to divide the 71 only. So right this minute, close that parenthesis. If you don't, you will be one of those kids today when we're doing these problems like, Miss T, your way doesn't work. I'm getting them all wrong. You're right. I don't know. I'm figuring it out. The parentheses. Now, hit divide. Hit sine. Hit 35. Close that parentheses and save the calculator nicely. Please give me the right answer and hit equal. It's going to take a minute to think. We're asking them to do a lot of work. Share with your neighbors what your calculator says. If your calculator told you this, you are fired. You are fired. For some of you who are using a graphing calculator, it might be a little bit trickier with the parentheses, and I can help you later. Please, my lambs, try this one. Let me put some numbers on here. Let me try this one. I want you to, let's see, 19 point. There you go. Give it a try. Now, can I be honest? Do I do the A, B, and C thing? No. I look for partners. Now I just look for partners. I'm too lazy to do the A, B, and C thing. So here's what I'm going to do. I am going to think, oh, wait, here's this guy. Here's his partner. I set that guy up. And then I say, here's this guy and his partner. And I set that guy up. Right? Two partners. Do I care about this other stuff? I don't. Doesn't really matter to me. Or just think of this one. Partners. Angle and the side. So sine of the angle. So partner of equals sine of the angle. Partner of it. But if I show that to the formula, I don't do the ABC and go like, what is that formula mean? It means partners, right? Yeah? Checking on your calculator. Yeah. No, I wouldn't. That's way more work than I would do because I'm lazy, right? Watch this. Do this. This one's 8 matches with the 5. So, oh, it's 18, by the way. So, right, sine 18. So, Jackson, don't ask any questions, right? Because if you got it, you got one. You don't. You see what I'm saying? I don't even. Okay, little bit of gypsy magic here. So, anyone want to see a shortcut? If you're interested, if this is not going to blow your mind a little bit, I can put sine over the side, sine over the side. I can also write it like this. Check this out if I wanted to. Oops. Oh, come back. You do not have to do this. I feel like I'm sharing something, but I'm worried about doing it. Look what I did. I flip-flopped in the very beginning. Is that okay to do? Yeah, as long as I keep partners with partners and I flip-flop them both. Why would I do that? Because now, look, all I have to do is this. Move this guy over to here. Do you have to do that? You don't. But I'm just letting you know, if you want to do the flip-flop in the very beginning, so your X is on top, you can. But did that hurt your brain? Okay, so I'll go back to the regular. Let me go back to the regular. Just some of you are going to figure that out and be like, can I do that? So here we go. Sine 18 over 5, that's the yellow partners, equals sine 114 over the X. I'm going to do the butterfly method or the flip-flop method. I'm going to put the X up here, the sine 18 over here, and the 5 right there. Here we go. Let's do it. Carefully. 5. Sine 114. I'm going to go fast because I feel like I'm losing you guys. Sine 18. Let's see. Did you guys get like 15? Is it 15? 14.8? 14.8? Okay. One more like this, and then we got one more thing to do. Okay. Here's what. Watch this one, especially Jackson if you're out in the back there, because you need to watch this one. This one's different. So, watch my pairs. I got this pair. I got this pair. That's awesome. I gotta use the X. Uh-oh. I don't have an angle there. What the hell do I do? I do know all the angles, don't I? Because if I know 2 of the angles, I know all of the angles. You just subtract it from 180 to get that other angle, right? So here's the deal. You never get just 2 angles. If they give you 2, they're really giving you 3. You just say 180 minus 29 minus 103, right? So don't let it freak you out if you feel like, oh my God, I'm missing an angle. If they've given you 2, they've given you all. It's like if you see 1 ant in your house, you have a lot of ants. They don't live independently. It's not like I'm leaving the ant colony. I'm going to live on my own. They don't do that. So is it 40, 48, 42, 48?
48.
There you go. Do it. I'm gonna do it quick here. I actually have to write it out. I literally can't do it in my head. I have to write it out. Yes, good, good. You knew that. It's not a cross. That was the issue.
What?
I got 23. I told you I love that. Check your friends. I swear to God, that's what it was. Hey, so this is great. I'm gonna use Phoebe as an example. She did everything right, and she knew that it doesn't make any sense that that side is like 15 and the other side we're finding clearly looks bigger, and she got like 2.3. These are real, right? And it didn't make sense. And I said probably because it was the damn parenthesis. So here's what I need to tell you guys. So everyone's putting their pencils down and watch what I'm about to say. So here's what, Jackson, this happens every year. There are some of you who are going to get good enough at this that you're not going to write it down. You're going to be like, especially on the next problem we do, you're going to do it all on your calculator. And if you don't at least write this down for me somewhere, it can look like crap. I don't care. But if you happen to hit the 4 instead of the 7, and you get the whole answer wrong, if you don't have something written there, I can't give you partial credit, right? So every year I have a kid say to me, you didn't give me any credit. I just forgot the parentheses. And I'm like, I didn't know that. So please at least write a little something down for me on the test. Okay, we got one last part to do and then we are done. And I know we want to be done. Here's the next thing. Let's put a theta right there. I need you to write something down for me. I think looking for the angle is actually easier. But there's one thing that we're going to get. We're going to get a little decimal at the end, and that doesn't make any sense. Remember way back at the beginning of the week, so when I was in high school, I had to look at those damn tables, and I'd get a decimal, and I had to match it to the angle. Well, that's the last step that we have to do on these problems. We're going to get a decimal, and then we're going to have to ask our calculator nicely to change that into an angle. Is it easy to do? Yeah, we just hit inverse sine, right? But just remember, on the angle ones, we're going to need to go backwards at the end. When we do this problem, you're going to be like, oh, that's pretty easy. And then I'm even going to show you a way to shortcut it. But then here we go. Are you ready? Let's set this one up just like we've set everything else up so far. We're going to use our partners. Are you ready to get those partners? This guy is going to match with this guy. That's one set of partners. This guy is going to match with this guy. Can you please write out the little proportion for me on your paper? Nice and easy. We're going to say sine of theta. Remember, that's what we're looking for. Over 15 equals sine of 126 over 31. Here's what's nice. There is no flip-flopping. That whole flip-flopping is done because this guy, that's who we're looking for. He's on the top. Yay for us. So all we really need to do is move this 15 over. So can you please just move him over? So right now, on your calculator, do me a favor and put this goo, for those of you at home, I'm pointing to the 15 sine 126, into your calculator. Nice and careful, you're going to get a decimal. It's like you write like 3 places down, like 0.391, something like that, or 319. You've done this so much. 391? Make sure 100 degrees. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You don't have to hit times between the 15. Just 15 sine.
Why does my calculator not like it?
Let me combine and take a look at it. Divided by 31. Okay, so here's what I got. I got the sine of theta is 0.391. Is everybody cool with that? Did I lose anybody? So here's what, Jackson, I don't want that. I want to know what angle matches that. So this is where we say to our calculator nicely, pleasantly, use good manners. Please, Mr. Calculator, go backwards. If I know the decimal, can you give me the angle that matches that? That's the inverse button. So you're going to hit sine, or inverse sine, 0.391. Second, sine, because you're asking it to go backwards. And you just have to remember that 0.391, that doesn't make sense for an angle. That's not a sensible answer. But what you're about to get, second sine of 0.391, if you got, I don't know, 23 degrees, that totally makes sense. 23 degrees. Okay, now, if you're brave, if you like this, stick with this. But I'm going to show you a way to do all of it on your calculator at once if you want to try. You want to try? Are you good? Are you up for it? Okay, like some of you are like, no. Okay, so here's what we are going to do. Are you guys ready? We're going to do this exact same. Actually, you know what? Before we do this problem first, and then I'll show you after you get the hang of it. Then I'll show you. If you're like, nope, not up for it. Again, some of you are getting really quick at knowing partner to partner, super easy. Sine, that should have been a theta, sorry about that. Sine theta over 37 equals sine 94 over 43. I'm going to move that 37 over. I'm going to do that. Here's what I got. 37, sine 94. Close that parentheses. I swear to God, if you don't close that parentheses, I'm coming to your house and kicking your dog. I'm going to say sine theta is 0.858. I'm going to ask it nicely to go backwards. Did you get about 59 degrees?
I got my shit through.
Okay. So, if you are happy, that's the end of the lesson. If you would like to see a way to do this in one swoop on your calculator, get ready. Are you ready? Get your calculator out. Here's what I'm going to tell my calculator to do. I am going to tell my calculator to go straight to this right away. So I don't have to do it in 2 steps. But you got to be super crazy careful about parentheses. Are you ready to push the buttons with me if you want to try it? Right? So instead of doing it, and this is a full shortcut, but you got to listen carefully to try it. You ready? Get a calculator out. First thing we're going to do, we're going to hit the backward sign. We're starting there. We're going to go from the outside in. We're going to ask our calculator to say, hey, you're going to do all this crazy math, but I want you to be doing this. So I'm going to say second sign. Are you with me? I'm going to hit 37. I'm going to hit sign. I'm going to hit 94. I'm going to close that parenthesis. Is everybody cool with that? I'm going to hit divide by 43. For the love of God, close that parenthesis as well. And then hit enter. Look, the gypsy magic there. Get it? Yes? Okay. If you like it, I'll show it to you. If you don't, that's cool. You're doing 5 in the front, 5 in the back. I don't care what side you do. 5 in the front, 5 in the back. I would like to see your orange worksheet. If you didn't finish every time, that's okay. They were hard. But I'd like to give you some credit for giving it a damn good try. Why? I want to be really clear. If you want anything that is even mild, not understand anything that is mild, I'm allowed at this point, like if I go to Abby, it doesn't be like, oh, he's not going to do something, it becomes sexual harassment. Do you hear what I'm saying? Do you hear what I'm saying? Oh, this is but I'll be honest, like, Justin, on this one, it's not a matter of what you say it is, it's what a woman perceives it as. So when guys in business places say, I was just joking, and it's like, yeah, but as a woman, I don't think it's funny, still sexual harassment. So once I ask, do you do a race, and you don't, it turns into harassment. Just so you know. Yeah. Huh?
I would never.
I would.
If you ask me, so the deal is, like, let me be honest. You can't get in trouble for doing it. That's not what you're going to get in trouble for. You're going to get in trouble if I ask you to listen to my words. If I ask you to release it because it makes me uncomfortable, and you don't, that's when something changes. And it doesn't matter what it is. So if I say, if I'm calling you Jesse, and you don't like the name Jesse, and you ask me to stop and I don't, I can get in trouble for that. Right? Right. And if I thought personally that if for whatever reason culturally that bothered me, and I asked you to not do that, the car doesn't get you in trouble, the not responding to me when I ask you to erase it. That's
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't surprise you.
right. So just to be clear, when you make, like even in the workplace, if you make a joke and a girl asks you to stop, I want to be super clear on these words. Perception is reality. It doesn't matter what you meant. It matters what she felt. Then we're done. Then we're done. Then we're done. As long as you understand. I'm walking. You ready? So you like this. So now that's necessary, right? You can start with the thing that is right. So let's push it. We're going to say second count. And then we're going to tell it to you all about so we're going to give it 37. Sign 94. Oh, we've got to take that right because it's going to be divided by 43, and we got one more phrase in close because there was one in the very beginning that we didn't really remember. Does that make sense? So it's the two closing that makes it right? But a lot of kids will miss that. Middle part seat and then no, walking away.